Good morning. Welcome to my home and welcome to my heart. So my mother, who's been with me the last couple of days, is over there at my kitchen table in her jammies still, and she's peeling garlic. So why would she be peeling garlic? I have given her, I think, 14 heads of garlic to peel. Because nature has provided us with all kinds of wonderful things that can help our bodies to be strong and healthy and do their best work, which is being perfect. Healing themselves, benefiting. And I make a special stuff that we've been eating for I think I've been taking this for about 40 years now, Mom. Yeah, she's like, yeah. And we call it garlic syrup. It was an old recipe that we've modified. My sister, who's a master herbalist, has modified it a little bit. It involves garlic, it involves apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar, honey, organic honey, unpasteurized honey, and distilled water. There's a bit of a process with which you make it, but you put all that stuff together in the recipe, and you get this garlic syrup that can really, really kick the stuffing out of anything that comes and wants to play havoc with our bodies. And I make a recipe for it because it takes a little bit of time. And I'm not going into the manufacturing of garlic syrup, but I've got the recipe. Actually, I will post it in the next, on the page quite shortly, because people are starting to ask me for it and saying, can I buy it from you? Can I buy it from you? And I'm not going into manufacturing, but it's so wonderful. It works so well. So that's where my mother is at the moment. She's busily peeling garlic. She's going to kind of move along with me. Today is Thursday. It's the 4th, I can tell you. It's the 4th healing movement of the 5 healing elements and 5 healing movements in Spring Forest Qigong's 5 healing elements. As I studied these and took my training to actually teach these methods and teach these processes, which is something I'm also going to be offering shortly. You're getting a short little snippet of things, but there is a whole class, an 8-hour class on why and what we do with this. Message me if you'd like, or put in a comment if you'd like to be involved in that class. It can be online. I love online. It's great. So today, the 4th healing element, which is the movement of connecting with our body's energy. Now, those of you who've been following me for a while know that I've been experiencing hip stuff going on, arthritis, osteoarthritis in my hips. And I was actually scheduled for surgery to replace those in June. June the 9th was supposed to be my replacement date. And I just never felt good about having that surgery for a number of reasons, and that's another conversation. And so I changed that date I asked them to change the date for me to later in August, and haven't heard from the doctor since. But as I mentioned yesterday, I'm now moving a lot better. Watch this. So there's still a bit of a limp, but I am moving around. I'm not running marathons again. Probably won't ever. I've done my time in that particular season of my life. But the healing is happening. Now, how is the healing happening? Well, I'm just going deeper into my meditations, going deeper into my personal scripture study, doing some dietary changes, but not a lot. It really, truly is the meditation. This is what's setting me free, because it sets my mind and my heart and my body and my soul all free. So as we begin today, let's bounce. Yesterday we talked about how forgiving the past in my EFT and Louise Hay portion, how forgiving the past and releasing the past sets us free into the future. And it not only sets us emotionally free, but sets us physically free, as I'm learning and discovering with so much joy. It's really cool. Now, there could be times when I will slide backwards, and I do find that by the end of the day, if I have overdone it and walked too much and not asked for help, or not given myself the time to rest, not really listen to myself, then I'll be fairly sore and tired by the end of the night. And so it's listening to our bodies, because we get to these places of dis-ease because we have not understood, and I don't want to shame anybody and do any victim blaming or anything like that. We simply have not understood how to manage our bodies and how to listen to our bodies, how to heal and how to hear the messages from our bodies, and therefore release the blocked energy that comes in when we haven't heard the message. And so now as we grow and we figure these things out, we hear the messages, we can actually undo things. It's very, very cool. So I'm on the undoing space of releasing, letting go. And that's what the bouncing does. If you missed the story about my horse and putting it, my very, very sick horse, putting it on a trailer and bouncing it all the way to the vet and taking a horse off the trailer that was almost finished working through his process, it was pretty cool. So this bouncing process. The bouncing is a releasing space. And we're going to be flexible in our hips, flexible in our knees, and flexible in our ankles. And we're simply, it's almost like a pump. We're reaching down into the earth with this bounce. As Rong Li, she is a Qigong instructor, a Spring Forest Qigong instructor, as she says, and she's so delightful. If you ever get to watch her stuff, just watch it because she is so childlike. She says, bring yourself back to being as a child. Just enjoy things. So what do we do as kids? We bounce. Tigger. Bounce, 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 bounce. Just letting things go. Let's let the wrists go. Let's let the shoulders go. And the elbows go. Mom's over peeling garlic and bouncing. You might want to just breathe, Mom, and don't multitask at the moment. Just an invitation. So as we bounce, we're just letting go of anything that's ready to be released. And let's allow our hands to float above our heads. In my Louise Hay segment yesterday, we talked about childhood injuries, emotional injuries. As you bounce, things might come up for you and you might feel some different emotions. Allow them to come up and release. This bouncing can be really helpful in resolving trauma and releasing trauma. Because it is so generic and isn't very specifically focused in the moment, it releases very safely and comfortably what the body is ready to release. You don't have to discuss anything. You don't have to talk about what happened. You might just feel that pain and something might come up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Put that smile on your face. Release. So if something comes up to be experienced, really deepen your breathing and slow it down and receive whatever's coming up. As you receive what's coming up in love and gratitude and kindness and forgiveness and compassion especially. Compassion for yourself if you've experienced some difficult things. Compassion for those who perpetrated them on you. That's a thought and an idea. Master Lin talks about one of his processes. He had, continue to bounce with me, he had bone spurs in his back. He had such severe arthritis in his knees he could barely walk. One of the processes that one of his masters took him on was a forgiveness process. And in that process, he was invited to envision people in front of him that he was holding resentment for and that forgiveness could be applied to. Well, Master Lin lived through the Cultural Revolution in China. And there were many people that he has many reasons to not forgive people. Let's just leave it at that with cultural revolutions. We're in the middle of a cultural revolution right now. Excuse me. And so he had a number of people. If you read his book, Born a Healer, he talks about his journey. There were many people that were put a lot of difficulty, huge difficulty, massive difficulty on him and his family. They had to be running constantly. They had to be hiding. Neighbors would turn them in. So he had many reasons. I mean, his life was in jeopardy constantly. He had many reasons not to forgive. And so when he was invited into this forgiveness process, and we can practice this too, and given the idea to envision these people in front of him who would be in need of forgiveness, he had this wall of resentment and anger. And so what his master invited him to do was to say, I pretend that I forgive you. 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 And I think that was repeated over and over again. I pretend that I forgive you. But as we think about and bring into our mind and our thoughts and our realm the idea of forgiveness, even if it's a pretended idea, that whole idea sets up a higher vibration. The bouncing is a vibration. We're bouncing and releasing. And so in that process, as he pretended to forgive them, I pretend to forgive you, I pretend to forgive you, I pretend to forgive you. He wanted to be able to, but there was a lot of pain and hurt. And eventually that pretend word dropped off, and he was able to forgive. And it released him. It released the pain in his body, it released the blockages in his body, and his body naturally took care of those extra calcium deposits that the arthritis was. His body naturally regenerated the cartilages. My body is doing that, your body can do that. As we bring ourselves into the space, and this is a conditioning, this is a repetitive thing, it's a consistent practice, as we bring ourselves into the space of unconditional love and receive it to us and have it flow through us to others, we are healed and others are healed as well. It's all science. In our course, I'll teach you some of the science of it. It feels like it's woo-woo, but it's science. Breathe in, breathe out, and allow your body to come into a quiet stillness on that out breath. Just feel what your body wants to do. Feel the tingling. My muscles are a little bit fatigued in my calves, so I'm just going to shake them out a little bit. I can feel the whole line. You know, in movies where they draw the line around the dead body on the ground? I can feel that line being drawn around me, which is probably an aura. Except this one is glowing and it's white. And in my mind's eye, my third eye, I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel its vibration. I can feel its warmth. And it is a white light. It's always been a white light for me. I can feel my hands drifting away from my body. What this drift away does, my shoulders open up. What this drifting away does is open up channels, open up energy so that it can move. It's an expansion. Our bodies and our souls and our minds and our spirits expand under this influence of unconditional love and this chi. I feel it in my palms, I feel it in my fingertips. It's delightful and it's joyful. So we bring our hands to the center at our lower dantian, which is our navel area. Open the shoulders, just let them stretch open. Women, your right hand will be next to your navel. Men, your left hand will be next to your navel. There's space there. If you are gender fluid, you choose which hand feels best for you. Your body will tell you. We're changing our breathing now to in through the nose and out through the nose. And here in this space, we're focusing on our lower dantian, and we call upon the energy of our master. Your master is anyone from whom you gain wisdom and knowledge and support and guidance. You may name your own master. Call upon the energy of our master, and we can say something like, "Dear Master, with deep gratitude, I'm so grateful for the guidance and the love and the healing that I've received." We speak in respectful terms to our master, to this connection, to this merging. And with that deep gratitude, I set my intention in my practice today to continue to receive healing. You set your own intention. Mine is to continue to receive healing and to show others how they can do it as well, how they can receive it as well. My intention is to bring joy and happiness to my fellow man and all the creatures with whom I interact. As we set our intention, now we give the password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together as one. And envision yourself in the universe in some manner. Your mind will take you there. I'm floating in the galaxies. I see the stars. In Qigong, we call this going into the emptiness. In that empty space, there is unconditional love and all possibility. Our tongue is touching the roof of our mouth. We have a smile on our face. Bringing our hands now to an energy ball, about the size of a volleyball. Feel the pressure of that ball in your hands. Feel your fingertips tingling. Breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your nose. In this ball, we are joining yin and yang energy. Mixing, joining, balancing all of who we already are. We can invite into this ball anyone in our sphere of influence that needs healing, is looking for healing, including ourselves. We can envision ourselves in this ball that we're balancing with the unconditional love of the universe. Here's where we could invite those people that we would like to be able to forgive but have no idea how. Invite them into this ball and say, I pretend to forgive you. Pretending is an intention. We can invite everyone on the planet into this ball. It is our own visualization, so we can visualize everyone on the planet in this ball of energy of unconditional pure love. All the rigidities are being loved and balanced. We're going to bring our hands now to the lower dantian in prayer position at the lower dantian, upside down prayer. Just expand your fingers and your palms to form a heart here at your lower dantian. Walk your right foot out a little bit. We'll have enough pressure in our fingers just to hold a piece of paper. So we're not pushing, they are touching. We're going to shift our weight to the left side. As you shift your weight to the left side, inhale. As you shift your weight to the right side, exhale. And as I do this, my body shows me where it's out of alignment. I was tipped over and rolled forward in the shoulders, and I was holding tension and energy in between my shoulder blades. My body said, stretch up a little bit. As I stretched up, my body also says, now step out a little bit further. Breathing in to the left. Breathing out to the right. Breathing through our nose. As you breathe into the left, breathe in the feeling of contentment. Breathing out to the right. Breathe out any extra energy that's ready to be released from our bodies and our minds and our spirits. It goes back to the universe. Breathing out and releasing. Breathing in and receiving contentment. If you'd like to add a little swivel at each one of these spots, here I'm at the left. Body turns and swivels just a little bit, back to the center, keeping the hands at the lower dantian. Shoulders stay still. If this is not within your physical capabilities, sit or lie and imagine yourself doing these movements. Visualize them. Visualize the alignment in your body. Visualize the strength in your body. Visualize the love. Visualize the fluidity of the movement. The fluidity of the movement also helps us to remember to be fluid emotionally. When things come at us from the world that challenge us emotionally, the more fluid we are, the more we can release things that come through us, and we can let them go. I am content. I trust that the universe is friendly. I am content. This is one of my favorite movements. It brings such contentment to me. Listen to your body, close your eyes. And as you do this rocking motion back and forth, or envision yourself doing the rocking motion back and forth, with the breathing, Scan through your body. Feel what it's saying to you. Are there any little sensations you're feeling? I feel a tingling in one of my fingers of my left hand. I have no idea what it means. I just feel it and I'm aware of it. I don't have to attach meaning to it. I can simply observe it. This is the space of being, between being and not being. And now my body is saying to me, that's about enough. So I'll come back into the center and walk my right foot back in. I'm just going to stay here for a minute. Breathe and receive. Hands back to the lower dantian, focusing on the lower dantian and having our qi, our energy with life force, blueprint, and pure intelligence, spinning faster and faster to the right between our palm and our lower dantian, our navel. Spinning faster and faster and faster, and condensing and drawing into itself all the beautiful love, unconditional love of the universe into this qi. Condensed qi is Dan. Dan is medicine. We invite the medicine into our body through our navel. It drops in. I can envision this whole white light in my navel, my lower part of my pelvis, my torso. It has a hum to it. That's what it feels like for me. You may have a different feeling. It might manifest in your body in a different visual image or a smell or a sound. It's how your body speaks to you. Receive that energy, that qi, into our lower dantian. And now we will harvest our qi, rubbing our hands together and tapping our fingertips, or interlocking our fingers, sorry, not the fingertips, and rubbing our hands together again, massaging our face. Put your hands on either side of your nose, up into the hairline, around the hairline and down. And as we do this, I invite you to say to yourself out loud if you wish, out loud if you dare, I love you, and use your own name. I love you, Roxy. Envision also the hands of your master, massaging your face and saying to you, I love you. Feel that unconditional love. Let it wash through you and over you and into every cell and every particle of cell of your body. Receive it. We cup our hands, just in a cupping shape, and tap our head. And tap the very top of our head. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put one hand on your forehead. Allow your head to just tip forward and tap the back of your head right at the base where it joins the neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tapping between the eyebrows. 2, 3. This is the Bladder Meridian. Bladder is a releasing space. Underneath the eyes, this is the Stomach Meridian. In our stomach, we often hold anxiety. Down our chest. The element that we're dealing with today, there's so much to teach you, is the metal element. The body system is the lung system, and we're on the left side. The color we can think about is white, and on the right side. And what the contracting emotion that the contentment dissipates and evaporates is the emotions of depression, sadness, and they're in the lungs. Tap down the whole body. But they're released now. I'll bet you're feeling better. I feel wonderful. And then one of the reasons I feel wonderful, let's tap on the sacrum, is because as I connect with you, some people are watching, maybe there's nobody watching at all, but as I connect with you and I envision you there, I envision you practicing with me. I envision and I feel your chi as well. And as our chi fields connect with each other, we share healing. Because we share love and acceptance and compassion and kindness and joy and forgiveness, we share healing. Dropping our hands down to our knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the backs of the knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the left knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the right knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And up on our toes and drop to our heels. 1, 2, we're bringing energy up from the earth, our Mother Earth. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Whenever you receive this video, if the universe decides that it's important for you to see it, I feel your love. I feel your pain if you have pain. Feel the unconditional love of the universe coming through me to you. Receive it. Namaste. I love you.